So, like, how are you supposed to know you're in complete control if the things you utilize come from a place where you have no understanding from? Does that become invalid logic to even understand? Is that just like barking up, the wrong tree? Or is that something that sits outside of what you could even consider the realm of possibility? Because obviously, I feel like there are some individuals out there who need to know those kinds of things. I personally, I know that it's fine to not know of something. Like the only time you say you know everything is when you're like BSing, or you're just trying to joke around or something. But that's it. As far as it goes, you don't know everything. And the sad thing is, to say that is like undermining the things that are understandable by what is perceived by what is it, civilization or society, because there's a difference from what I understand. There's a lot of sociology stuff I can't really remember, but it's just by that rate, I just it's invalidating to understand how some individuals out there choose to say they understand everything. They don't even know how the tools that they even have became into being. Because then some of them they split off. Like some of them choose to accept that they don't know and they get what they get from it, but like it's still an element that's always there. They pick it up even though they're like in your face. Kind of crazy, thinking they understand everything. Or they branch off into those who like think they created the internet. You know, like just anyone off the side of the street. Like maybe the original person who created the internet could say that. Right, when it was just like a thing. You know, like barely coming out, but it's like limited, right? If it were just anyone who wasn't even like around to even know that stuff, saying they created the internet, it's a completely different thing. Is that I believe it could even go into like mental disorder or something, but it's just like I said, we're at like this point where something like that is being done, and obviously, I'm not the only one around to know that. Um, like I said, I'm perfectly fine with not knowing of something, because I can better my understanding even towards that something if I wanted to. If it were my business, even. But if it's not my business, and hey, Pshama, go over here, go way over there, get involved with this right here, or, anything else. Because I wouldn't be saying it's my business. Like I said, some individuals they gotta work that stuff out for themselves, and they gotta really look at it. Like I don't mean to sound like I could be making fun of anyone, but it's really like that. So to me, it is hard to understand. But what more can be said about people who are like that? Like I just want things to be okay, you know. Like, but it's hard to imagine something that sounds so simplified in such a way. You know, like it'd be great to even talk to people and have multiple opinions about this very thing. But like, since I'm here by myself, that's how it is. I mean, I hope I'm not misleading anyone for whatever it is that they may be getting into anyway. Sometimes, sometimes the best things in life are things you enjoy alone. But again, it's another thing I feel like it needs to be, discussed in a lot of different ways. Maybe not even discussed, just kind of educated. More of a education towards. I find it hard, find it hard with all this nonsense to really feel like things could be okay when there are things like that walking around. It's like it kind of reminds me of how, what is it, the violin is something that people don't know the like original like place it came from, but it's still being used, right? It still sounds good. People like it. Hey, it's not bad. You were doing many different things with it, right? They're going all over the place, making beautiful sounds and entertaining people. That's just like one of the many things I feel. Like back in the day, well, back in my day, it's not even very long for people to even watch this, But there was a big discussion of where rope even came from, and if there was just one huge civilization that occurred at one point in time, or if it was many different civilizations that could have occurred. But again, even that stuff is met with scrutiny till they find something out there. If it isn't found by those who don't want to believe in anything outside of what they want to say they already know. But I mean, it's just it's a mess. It's really a mess. Um, a lot of even what I'm saying, I run into people so hard headed they already say, oh, people are already talking about that. It's already talked about. Like, they can't even offer anything to really like back up their claim or anything. It's just like one off and thing kind of going in one direction even. And those are the types of people, I feel like I'm describing, in this video. Like, even with a term like hard headed, it's a coined term, right? But it seems like it makes sense in a lot of different ways for me, at least with where it is I could even be with everything. But it reminds me of like animals, like they like ones that with horns. Like the first thing they do is they see another animal with horns. They go right into it, run right into it as hard as they can. But like I said, there are things out there that are just being carried in those kinds of ways. So it's strange. It really is. It's like when you see those people doing those things, right? They don't even acknowledge. They don't even acknowledge it in a way where they possibly don't understand. It's always that they do. But I guess what it is that I really want to say in this little segment is that it can be scary. It can be scary to see people like that who don't understand what they're doing when they do that kind of stuff. For me, the best way I could describe it is like, it's not even just like someone who says they created something when they didn't. It's like somebody, those people that I mentioned earlier, the ones that accept that they don't know but get what they want out of it. Those types of people, they can be very like impulsive. not just impulsive, they're like destructive in their way of thinking. It's not constructive, obviously. But the one thing that, makes me laugh about those kinds of people is if you tell them you don't know how it is those things got, and then they're like perfectly fine with it, then, you got to explain it to even further. Like, hey, well, then perfectly fine with knowing that, that there are some things you can never know and are interested in, but that you take for granted in all those ways. That really isn't just limited to what it may be limited to at that point in time, given the context. But you try to tell them that, they're like, you trying to tell me so, you're trying to get by me, you trying to do something. But, half the time, people I even talk to like that, they're not even that sharp. Pretty slow. It's pretty slow. It's hard to find people out there who aren't just like, on some primitive instinct kind of bullshit. Penis going vagina. I make money. Money make world go round. It's just fucking dumb. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, I don't know what to think about it. But one thing I do know is those types of people who are accepting of those things without even questioning why, that do those things, for me, personally, from what I found, like, if they have like a belief that's centered around like how it is they get the stuff they want or need, even at that point, may not even be what they need, but from what I found personally, is they can be violent uh, towards people who, kind of call them out for it at that point in time. Main reason I say it is, I happen to know of something like this, and it's like one of those situations where it's like they get so much out of it, without ever questioning why, and it's just like a tool, that some type of mechanism that they keep around in order for their understanding or whatever to accomplish those kinds of things. And that will be, at least written in my book, the term American Indian and or Indian that's being used to describe indigenous nations of this place. And it's as simple as that, really. Like, some of them, they perfectly content with knowing what it is that they get from it, being that it is wrong. They see it's wrong, but when you call them out for it, it's always about something else. It's always way over here about this over there, some other stuff way over here, and then they expect people who don't really understand it to get caught on to all that other double talk that they got going on, and sometimes it does work. That's a sad thing. They avoid it. They always avoid it. Why? Well, they sure as hell don't get their oil, their uranium, their fucking resources from England, where a lot of those white people originally came from, or whether they were Dutch, or even at this point, unfortunately, it's like even Irish. Fucking all these people that came over here who are just like completely content with just knowing what it is they're getting off of everything without even questioning why. It's not even really limited to like one demographic of people anymore. Now they're all so fucking intermixed and inbred. It's crazy. It's the only thing I hear on the East Coast, man. I say it's a small world. It's like, yeah, I bet. Not even a joke. That's how scary it is. It's like it's really scary. Like, even for me, like I don't even know why I look as pale as I do. It's not even pale from the lack of sunlight. It's like my actual skin complexion. I have no idea why I even look like this. was told once. I don't even think that was it, honestly. But it's just weird. Because like even then, there's like a whole history that I have no knowledge about that could probably be really fucking weird. Just some dumb shit, like some really dumb shit from what I understand. It's just, for me, like, I don't know, just kind of been caught in these kinds of things. Just looking at it, fucking realize that it's actually there. And people say it's already being done and shit, already being taken care of. And it's like years go by and still nothing happens. And as soon as you do something about it, like in my case, at least in my past, as soon as you go in there and try to do something about it, someone comes in and finds you and makes you think or realize or like tries to talk you out of in some form or fashion, whether it even be through the fear of violence or something, to look away from it, that someone else is doing it, or that it doesn't need to be done anymore. And I just know, through the use of this term, it's nonsense. They don't know where it fucking. If anything, the Spanish were the first ones, that ever do such a fucking thing. They're the first ones to come in and do it. But then, like, these white people, do what it is, fucking came over with. I wouldn't even think they were the pilgrims at the time. I think they're actually like criminals and shit or something. But like, they were like told that kind of shit, how to identify them and shit, and they picked it up. That's it. There's nothing else to that when it comes to American society using that term to identify people they had no understanding about. And that's the bottom line. They picked it up and thought it was amazing because they didn't question why. And, we're still here even after how many fucking years? In the year of our Lord, bullshit, all this dumb shit. Area Domini, BC, whatever. However it is, they can think they can fucking calculate all that bullshit. Because I'm fucking not putting up with it anymore. I thought there was at one point in time I actually thought, maybe if I just let it go, it'll go away. Really, I did. I thought about having a high paying job, doing all this shit, but then everything's fucking annoyed me. Thinking I could just sell all this shit to people who fucking don't even question why. It's like, I can't do that. It's annoying. It's far from annoying. It's just like, it hits you in a place in your mind where you feel like, I don't know, like, the only way you can fucking not think about it is if you have like something in there like doing something to you to like pacify that fucking feeling of not just helplessness but like curiosity within the confines of your own mind and shit. She's like, I want to know why. Why is it that they choose to use this term to this fucking day? Even when they got fucking technology to hear your bowel movements through Wi-Fi and shit. Like, they put all this emphasis and all this dumbass technology. What? So they can spy on all the political fucking figures that seem to be a threat to what it is they want to get away with? Bullshit. It's like the one thing I know, and it's a fact. Whenever they wanted to test something, they tested it on us natives. Now, I wouldn't even say natives, like even for us, so is it Lakota Nation, like we still got all that shit with the Gatling gun where they fucking first used that shit on us. So like there's history behind those understandings. Like we're like the first ones over here, indigenous nations, to be the guinea pigs to these fuckers. And it's not just white people because they invited all these people here with them. Because you try to say it is white people, you're looking at an idea that fucking died a long time ago. And all these people are uneducated. They even identify with it, thinking that they are white. It's bullshit. There's no such thing as white people. fucking you came from so and so who fucked a whore or fucking, you know, drop that fucking shit into some vagina, whether it was noble or fucking poor peasant, whatever. It happened. Not all this, white people sheltered you in the world and shit. It's bullshit. It's an idea. It's a cult at this point. It's not even all white people are the same, quote unquote white. It's bullshit. And even then, not even all those quote unquote white people are even treated equally. It's like you gotta be a noble birth or all this bullshit. But it's like, no, they don't tell those people who want to know that shit any of that because, now get this, because they'd rather have them identify by something that isn't even there, that they know that if they can pull off in such a way that they don't have to tell them about that history, and that they can tell them that they are of noble descent and shit, and act like they're all humble and shit. Like they possess all of the secrets for these quote unquote white people. It's nothing. Because then they would find out fucking you couldn't even feed your kid poaching a fucking animal near the castle. Otherwise, you were fucking thrown in prison. Even if you're poor as fuck and you couldn't fucking find anything. You couldn't buy anything from a market. Couldn't do any of that shit. That's just like one example, you know? There's plenty of fucking examples from what I understand. I think the most aggressive fucking thing I heard was they used to take nobles and pillage nearby villages, and fucking they would get all the children out of the village and have the nobles' children like fucking chase them down and hunt them down to get their first kill jitters out of the way. And that's some aggressive shit. But back in the day, it was like fucking playing football. It's like a fucking happy thing. Everyone's having a good fucking time. Oh yes, Junior's raping this other kid's asshole. Yeah, it's a good fucking time. Now he's slitting his throat. It's a good fucking time. Like, fuck that. So fuck you and your white people, whatever the fuck that is. Fuck you and your white people, and fuck Indians. Cause I don't know what the fuck Indian is. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's like fucking, you know, like when I'm dead and gone, I'll be fucking looking at these videos and I'll be like, God, this guy just keeps going on about this Indian thing. But it's like, for me, no, it's legally understood as of right now. What's the date? Hold on, I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna look at this right now on my computer. With all this high tech bullshit I got going. Okay, it says it's June 4th, 2021. Friday. Okay. Friday. It's still being recognized. It's still being understood as something that's there when it isn't. And what more can I say? Like, I always end up looking like the bad guy because I feel like nothing is right around here. That nothing is here in a good way. Like nothing was like everything is being raped even from like the earth, if not the earth, then people, like at the expense of even like others. And it's like I don't want to, it's just like a natural thing to fucking say because then like the more you look up into it, the more you find out more about it. It looks that way. That's what I'm saying. Like at one point in time, I thought I could just sit by and work a job where I'm getting all this money and settle down or something. But I can't fucking do that because I'm using all this shit by someone else who's saying it's okay. It's hard, man. But for some people, even a lot of them are being conditioned into it, thinking that it's perfectly normal to not just question why and to go right in, fucking all impulsive. Like You know how many dumbasses I found who actually think being a prostitute is like one of the best things in the fucking world? It's just one of those things I'm talking about. It was a fucking thing from way back when that they carried in such a way, I think, with like a bunch of lies and deception wrapped around it. Now people are actually walking around thinking it's a good thing. You don't need to exist. All we need is respect for each other. They even knew where prostitution originally came from. Maybe they fucking have an understanding or something, but no, half of them are like stunted in their minds and shit. It's hard to even talk about it with them because they're so dead set into thinking that they're just a piece of ass or a meat that doesn't need to ask why. And it's like, well, at that point, you know better than fucking a robot. You pretty much are a robot. You got your programming going. It's hard for me to say, everything could not, probably isn't here for a good reason. Like, even to do this, I'm depending on something. And, like, I don't know what it is, and I don't entitle myself to a legal understanding. Like, I know what's happening with it, I don't. But, if I were actually taken to court one day, they'd be like, well, you obviously are using it actively for this specific purpose, and you happen to be this individual, and it's like supposed to make sense and shit. It's like, could you actually stand up to someone in a court of law where they're actually going to try to make you look like you're doing something like that? Could you? Like, I'm asking anyone who even fucking watches this, could you actually do that? Like, for me, it's been a battle because they make this shit look so friendly. They make it seem like it's user friendly. Like, damn, you can go right in it. Here, fucking, it's like, oh, well, fucking, you should have read the terms and conditions or some bullshit. And it's just like some weird shit. It's like there's some technology that fucking, I have to agree with as a lesser evil. Like, and it's hard for me to say it, but fucking, we can't burn up all the fucking trees and the fucking forest to stay warm. There has to be some type of alternative method to do that, but not at the expense of fucking the environment or people. It's hard to fucking get those kinds of things into those fuckers' heads. Like, you go to oil country, man, they fucking, you start talking like that, they'll come, they'll fucking stand right next to you as if you're talking about the fucking the black gold itself. That how they would even fucking talk about it. But then as soon as you say, we gotta find a better way, alternative energies or something, they back down. They're not gonna hold you up there anymore. They're not even gonna fucking try. And it's killing the fucking earth. It's killing everything, man. So where was I, right? Yeah, that's right. All these things are just carried forward in such a fucking way. Like, I'm just getting tired of everything. Like, at one point in time, I almost didn't even want to stick around. I'm surprised I even got this far because I knew how shit was at a very early age. Like, life wasn't fucking easy for me. There's always some type of element out there trying to fucking take me out. And whether fucking someone was around to help me or I had to do it myself, I had to do something. There had to be something done. I don't feel like my efforts are in vain when it came to, helping myself or even someone else out. I don't know. It's just like a certain point where I've even thought about it. It's like, well, you want to know that you're in complete control of yourself and everything. Like, at least you know if you ever had to fucking go and fucking off yourself or whatever. At least it was. At least you could do it and be in control of that. And it's hard to say. I mean, like I haven't thought that way in a long time, but I don't give a shit. I don't even give a shit to say it now. It's fucking. I feel like finding yourself is one of the most scariest fucking things you could ever do, and it's like a journey you have to keep fucking doing. So even now, for me, my pact with myself, even if I were to ever think that way, because I get really bad anxiety. Oh yeah, because I know there's shit out there trying to fucking get at me. Uh, is that I gotta finish what I'm doing. I gotta find out why it is like that. Then if I can't fucking, feel like I'm comfortable in my own skin anymore after I already did it and found out and fucked with whoever it is that was fucking with me, then I consider it. Because then they're trying to implant fucking mental disorders into me, man. They're trying to condition my mind and shit through auditory and visual responses. And it's hard to even talk about that because it sounds fucking absolutely insane. But no, it's something I don't even really want to describe because I'm sure YouTube probably fucking take down my whole channel. But fuck you anyway. They look they whoever it is doing this shit. They have access to technology that they try to use in order to make you look like you're doing something to them, like they're always the victim. So like they do it in weird fucking ways though. For example, if you're breathing or something a certain way, like if you're breathing in, they'll like flicker the lights. And my guess is that through conditioning itself, because you'd notice it, that it's like making these synapses in your mind and shit to know of that shit each and every time it occurs. Because it won't just be when you're fucking doing that, it'll be at random times too. And they try to span out your fucking reaction to when it is that action had taken place in order to know how to time things inside of your reflexes essentially. And what it is they're trying to do is that, if they know that people are looking in on you because, there's fucked up shit happening, they want to try to promote fear. I ain't fucking afraid of them. Not even afraid of the fuckers who are even trying to be getting me, man. I'm not even afraid of them. So the main reason I got this far is because I was just never afraid. I don't know when there's fucking danger right next to me. You kidding me? I don't fucking know. That's how real it can actually be, man. Like, it's a hard fucking reality to contemplate on, like, why it is people even do that shit to you. Because then auditory, too, man, they do the same shit. It's like when you fucking make a loud noise, right? Like, clapping your hands, you're fucking, getting your responses and knowing your fucking response timing and shit. Because what it is they want to do is try to study you, try to study your reaction, how it is, what it is that's being used in your body in order to react to it. I don't believe they have a fucking clue where the fuck they are. Because even if they thought I was a bad person and they're trying to do all this shit against me, I already at that point know that they're carrying shit around they don't understand. And I've been saying it since I was a fucking kid. So, like, at that point, I obviously can tell that it's being done in such a way. Because the only other thing I could think of with something like this around is that it either is the government doing it under certain leadership, because then they're the only ones that can get clearance to get this close to somebody and do this type of shit, and or it's outside forces trying to promote or bait something from the Americans to do something. And guess what? I happen to be a guinea pig because I'm actually saying there's something fucking wrong that makes sense. Not like these fucking Kayanan fucking dumb fuckers or any of these dumb fuckers who can't actually prove their bullshit. It's like, hey, look at this. And once I'm arrested, I'm involuntarily an American Indian. And fucking, even if you don't agree with it, look, it's right there and it has your name on it. And now people can see it. People can see your name and all the shit that's associated with it. And they could even think you're a liability, find where you live, and fuck with your life. Just because you have your name on something from someone who's saying that there is something wrong. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. I will say it's legitimately fucked. But guess what? No one takes this fucking seriously. That's why I had to even make this fucking thing. Because I feel like this is a bunch of dumbasses walking around with shit they don't understand, thinking they already know it all. Doing their bullshit. Getting along with fucking knowing themselves in the dumbest fucking way. It's hilarious. For me, the one thing that's always been a determining factor for this type of dumb shit is knowing that I do this for myself. And oftentimes, when the Americans get involved with like trying to understand what's happening to me and shit, they accuse me of working for someone else. It's like, fucker, I only know myself, motherfucker. And sometimes it's hard to say that because sometimes it's one of those dumb fuckers who are working for the government trying to ask these questions. And once they know you're isolated and alone and there's no one else that knows or anything, fuck, they get rid of you, man. They find a way to get rid of you. I've been saying shit on Facebook for years, man, just kind of like pointing out shit. I'm surprised Facebook hasn't even fucking caught on to that and tried to ban me. No, they fucking banned me for 30 days for what? Some dumb bullshit. Because I said I could defend myself. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look up the self defense laws. Not only where Facebook is, but, you know, because where I am, fucking, you don't have to back down to a threat. And that's the state of New Mexico itself. And all I said was I could fucking legitimately kill a fucker. He tries to kill me. Then they banned me for 30 days. Wouldn't you know? It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. What am I going to do? Fucking appeal to his best of nature and fucking nurture him? If he were trying to legitimately just take me out by slitting my neck, holding me down to do it? So I just lay there and let him? Is that what Facebook really is about? Because that's how I'm gonna take it. That's a fundamental thing that fucking went so far. That just got so fucked up. I can't believe Facebook actually understands it. Like it's okay. But then again, Facebook has been known to like gather information and shit on people. And all this shit, man, if you really think about it, like all these outlets, all these things keeping you tied to fucking using the same resources, they're burning up shit, man. So like all of it is there to just keep your attention. And the more you feed into it, the bigger it gets. Till one day it's like something you can't control, like a black hole or something. Even the people who made it can't even fucking control it, even if it is fucking Facebook. It's like, no, this just keeps growing, you know? Because then now it's being used in such a way, now it's being understood in such a fucking way. Like even YouTube, like I'm sure if like YouTube was like, okay, YouTube is like 5 videos, you know? People would be like, what the fuck is this? And they go to another one, you know? But at that point, it's like, it can barely be used. And with YouTube, it's like you have the ability to fucking push shit into it, right? That's the whole point of it. So what is it that you're doing? Oh, yeah, you're giving it more fucking way. Do those fucking things. And that's the truth of it. As bad as it hurts. Yeah, having access to information is good and all, right? Means how you know shit is happening in the world and shit, but at what expense? Like we're not living in Africa. It's not black people fucking their land and all the bullshit that's being sucked out of them legitimately. It's not white people. It's not Asian American people. Hell, it's not even fucking what they call Indian American people. You know, people from India who are now Americans. They call them that Indian American. Fucking. It's not a lot of different people. You know, and the sad, sick reality about indigenous nations here is that all these people who are even trying to escape violence and shit, you know, from different countries, because some of them are just fucking dumb. Really, they're dumb. They're here in this place, and you know, anything that happens to this place and the land that governs it is like totally, totally on, you know, well, it's a responsibility. And that's the only way I can think of it. Like, the only way any of these people can do all this shit is, you know, they understand that the land is actually doing something for them. It's sustaining life. It's giving them the ability to have those freedoms that they take for granted. A lot of them, I should say. I ain't gonna get excited about selling fucking plastic to children. For fuck's sake. That's how it is. They just fucking they get involved with dumb shit. First off, thinking it's good and all, and then they feel unfulfilled because all their shit just kills the environment and puts, or you know, just gets shit in a weird fucking place. Like, I'm done. I'm done playing all that dumb bullshit. Like, sorry, but fucking, I don't even expect me to fucking come out of this even alive. Really, I don't. Because I know with the shit I saw last time, they want to take something from me when they think I've taken something from them. And you wouldn't even have done anything. You would just ask why. So they'll come with you, you know, or they'll come at you, and then they'll be like, they'll present it in a box with a bow on it. They'll say, to you, from me, you know, some corny shit. Then you open it up and it's that thing, whatever it may be, that would like fucking destroy you emotionally and mentally, that they've stolen or raped from you even in that box. And they're just, they, you know, they wanted to like give it back to you after they've already taken it, you know. And then the next day, it's not even that very thing. It's just like something in reminiscence. Like, I was even just talking about this to myself before I even started. Is like, it's gonna be like a macaroni picture of that thing they raped from you, just so they can kind of get back at you. Like, oh, look at me, I did that thing. And it's just like this fucking nasty and vicious attitude. That's where in sociology I found that, you know, there are many different societies, or how you say, masses of people from different cultures that believed in sacrifice. Like there was always someone who like fucking, even for no reason at all, just ends up taking fucking shit from even everyone in the tribe or society at that point. It could even be random. It could be just someone who even is perceived as being wrong, or they like sacrifice them. They just straight up sacrifice. So that's one thing I have to see when it comes to shit like that. And to me, it's not easy. Like I said, I don't even see this time. Last time, fucking, it was barely, it was a miracle I'm fucking here. So I tried to get help. And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do that for you because we just don't give a shit. And obviously, you're the one with the problem. And I ain't going to have that happen again. I'm going to get it done this time. Even if it fucking kills me. So I'm tired of living in a fucking world where everything you do is like gonna fucking hurt you in some way. Again, I may have said it once before, but I wanted to be an entertainer. Can't even do that. I don't feel like being excited about selling cheap plastic shit to people. I don't feel excited about any of that shit. But look at all these fuckers around. They just, you know, content with it. Now how they content? Well, they probably just see it as like, you know, a simple way talking about amazing things even through their lyrics or, in their jokes or fucking anything. I can't do it. Then what happens to people like me? Oh yeah, we're shunned by society. You know, by fucking what is in this fucking place. We're shunned because that's not how things are supposedly supposed to work. I'm tired of it. And I don't need anyone else to help me with this. Fucking, I'd rather hurt myself doing it, knowing that that's what I'm capable of, and fucking have some fucker come along with me, try to lead me down a fucking dark alley to get rid of me. It's like I'm done. I'm seriously done. And I hope people can understand that, um, even if it's the end of the world, I'm still make sure it's found out for what it is. Cause that's how I feel it is any other day, and I don't like it. You know, that's where my anxiety even stems from. It's like every day. Sometimes it'll be so bad it feels like I only got 5 minutes to live. Literally, I gotta like sit down and breathe and shit. I was never like this. Just tired of it. Pretty sure people who fucking have, who have been with me and fucking been around me and shit, they're probably tired of it too. I'm tired of feeling like this. I know how to get rid of it. Or at least get rid of the fucking big problem of it anyway. And like I said, that stems from those types of people who want to say they understand everything. Not ever fucking going in there knowing where it's from and shit. To even learn that they may just very well, in their small fucking world that they choose to live in, not know everything about, everything. Because it doesn't just stem from that. It's like fucking, they want to control other people's lives with that bullshit. Like, oh, I know, West Bass. You gotta have clean drinking, or not clean drinking water. You gotta have fucking running water and electricity to have your kid. Otherwise, we can take it from you. I mean, we could take them from you. They even talk like that. Like, fuck you, dude. You don't know who the fuck I am. Fuck you and your laws, bitch. Okay, I'm gonna go to your fucking law office and burn it down. See if your fucking laws of nature apply then. As fucking perfect as you make it seem. It's fucking, I don't see it. I don't even think you Americans out there even fucking understand who the fuck you're dealing with. I just think you want to believe in all this dumb bullshit these dumb fuckers are trying to pioneer to get resources and people. And unless you stand up to them, you're the one that's gonna fucking take the fall. They're gonna try to look just like you. At this point, it's hard to believe, man. Very hard to believe. I mean, if I were to do something right now, fucking get caught naked on the side of the road, arrested, I'd be fucking American Indian. Just like that. That's the legal system in this fucking place. And then on top of that, it's not just like being called white or black or anything. Nah, we're the only people who have a fucking piece of paper that says how much of whatever this fucking legal entity that's federally recognized is fucking being bred out of us. I see black people with it. Sure as hell don't see Asian American people, fucking Indian American, fucking white. Any of that. I see none of that with that shit. It ain't something we all agreed upon either. Because they want to say we're under wardship, like we don't even got a choice. But we're going to find out. And if I happen to see any of you fuckers on the other side, even if you were my own family, my own flesh and blood, I'm not going to hesitate. Like, once you decide to be on that side, saying all this kind of dumb shit that I even talked about, it's going to be hard for me to discern whether or not you're a direct threat that's trying to kill me. I won't care. I really won't. I've been bullied. I've been mutilated mentally, manipulated. Been all this shit before. I'm just at this point, I can't feel fear from it anymore. All I feel is anger and rage. And until I see, you know, people coming together and understanding about this very thing that I fucking made a nonprofit for with my grandfathers, I don't see it. Who knows what may happen? Like, yeah, I'm very unpredictable. Anything that's even said on this fucking video, on these videos, fucking, you know, it doesn't have to be my opening statement to a court case or a court decision. Because if I wasn't even here to begin with, being this Indian thing, I'd just be an object speaking to you. And in comparison to how the rest of the world works too, yes, I'd still be an object speaking to you. A breedable one that's supposed to be submissive to the American authority. A breedable object that can talk, speak, think, and all this shit. That's supposed to be submissive to American authority. That's what I'd be to you. So if I'm not even here, and you people already say you care about things that look somewhat similar, but not exactly that very thing, we're not on the same level. I'm my own, you know? Sure, you can try to separate me even from where it is I come from. Like I know you would. Still wouldn't make a difference. Try to use institutional bias on me even too at that point. It's fun, you know, I like it. Kind of proves to me you know something about nothing, you know? You can go on and on and on. Be more interesting if it were a fucking clown saying it to me. Really, it would.